6 p.m. Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Aisha Nayab. First, the headlines. National Accountability Bureau has given clean chit to Shehbaz Sharif in Ashiana Iqbal housing scandal reference. Minister for Information says academies of Radio Pakistan, PTV and information services are being integrated to train youth professionals in the field of media. Flight operation to airlift Pakistani intending pilgrims will commence from tomorrow. 3 soldiers embraced martyrdom in attack on post of Balochistan Zargun today. In Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, Indian troops in their fresh acts of state terrorism martyred 2 Kashmiri youth during continued cordon and search operations in Poonch and Rajouri districts. Group 7 has called for the development and adoption of international technical standards for trustworthy artificial intelligence. And now the news in detail. The National Accountability Bureau has given unclean chit to Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif in the Ashiana Iqbal housing scandal reference. In a reply submitted to the Accountability Court of Judge Sheikh Sajjad Ahmed today, NAB stated that no proof was found against the accused Shehbaz Sharif regarding misusing his authority and no malafide intention was proved either. The report also stated that no proof of corruption was found in the contract-given process of Ashiana housing project. It stated that the Ashiana project did not cause any financial loss to the national exchequer and Shehbaz Sharif did not get any benefits either. The report also stated that neither the co-accused Kamran Kiani caused any loss to the national exchequer nor co-accused Fawad Hassan Fawad got any bribe for awarding the project contract. Minister for Information and Broadcasting Mariam Aurangzeb says people involved in vandalization are hiding at Imran Khan's residence of Zaman Park. Addressing a news conference in Islamabad today, she said Imran Khan, in his today's tweet, used an AI-generated picture to show human rights violations. She said PTI protesters set Radio Pakistan building on fire and destroyed archives. She said Radio Pakistan has suffered loss of 250 million rupees. She said if culprits of PTV attack were punished, that they would not have vandalized Radio Pakistan. Responding to a question, she said academies of Radio Pakistan, PTV and information services are being integrated to train youth professionals in the field of media. She said this integration process will be completed by next month. Minister for Energy Khurram Dastagir Khan has said that accepting or rejecting MNA's resignations is the prerogative of Speaker National Assembly. Addressing a news conference in Gujranwala today, he said resignations accepted once cannot be taken back under any clause. Khurram Dastagir said that so far Imran Khan is not accepting responsibility for violent attacks on May 9 and May 10 when PTI miscreants attacked and damaged military and civil installations. The first batch of Pakistani Hajj mission has reached Makkah to finalize arrangements for Pakistani pilgrims. Radio Pakistan's correspondent Javed Iqbal reports from Makkah that 238 members batch includes 19 Muawwinin, 67 medical experts and 52 staff officers from Ministry of Religious Affairs. The mission will set up field medical camps along with finalizing other arrangements including accommodation, transportation and catering facilities for Pakistani Hajj pilgrims. The flight operation to airlift Pakistani intending pilgrims will commence from tomorrow. 3 soldiers embraced Shahadat in an attack on a post in Zargun area of Balochistan today. According to ISPR, 1 terrorist was also killed in exchange of fire. Troops on the post retaliated readily and pushed back the terrorists. The post has recently been established to help check extortion efforts targeting coal mines in the area. Likely hideout of fleeing terrorists has been identified in nearby mountains and sanitization operation has been launched. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Mohammad Shehbaz Sharif has strongly condemned the terrorist attack on the checkpost of security forces. In a statement today, he paid a rich tribute to the martyred soldiers, including Sipai Zamir Ahmed, Sipai Muhdassir and Lance Naik Abdul Qadir. Shehbaz Sharif prayed for the speedy recovery of the injured and extended heartfelt condolences to the bereaved families over the tragedy. This is Radio Pakistan. Pakistan has strongly condemned storming of Al-Aqsa Mosque by member of the Israeli Occupation Authority and members of Knesset under protection of Israeli occupation forces. In a statement today, Foreign Office spokesperson Mumtaz Zahra Baloch said violation of the sanctity of one of the holiest sites in Islam constitutes yet another reprehensible event in a series of escalatory Israeli actions. Mumtaz Zahra Baloch said Pakistan calls upon the international community to take urgent action to put an end to Israeli transgressions in the occupied territories. In Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, complete shutdown will be observed on Monday to register protest against the holding of G20 meeting in Srinagar by Narendra Modi-led Indian government. Call for the shutdown has been given by the All Parties Hurriyat Conference and supported by other Hurriyat leaders and organizations. The APHC has also appealed to the people of Azad Jammu and Kashmir and the Kashmiris living across the world to hold protest demonstrations on the day against the illegal move of the Modi regime. The APHC leadership has said that by holding the G20 event in Srinagar, the Modi regime wants to mislead the world community about the grave human rights situation and cover up its crimes in the occupied territory. On the other hand, Indian troops in their fresh acts of state terrorism martyred two Kashmiri youth during their continued coordinated search operations in Poonch and Rajouri district of Jammu region. The leaders of the Group of 7 nations have called for the development and adoption of international technical standards for trustworthy artificial intelligence. In a statement after the meeting of the G7 leaders in Hiroshima, Japan, the G7 leaders agreed that the approaches to achieving the common vision and goal of trustworthy artificial intelligence and the governance of the digital economy should continue in line with our shared democratic values. The United States has announced to allow its Western allies to supply Ukraine with advanced fighter jets, including American-made F-16s, in a major boost for Kyiv. National Security Advisor Jack Sullivan said President Joe Biden informed his G7 counterparts of the decision at the bloc summit in Japan. He said that the United States troops will also train Kyiv pilots to use the jets. Meanwhile, Russia has warned that Western countries will be running colossal risk if they supply F-16 fighter jets to Ukraine. In Sudan, at least 30 people have been killed as fighting between government's army and paramilitary rapid support forces entered in 6th week. According to the media reports, airstrikes hit the outer areas of the capital, Khartoum, and people faced heavy artillery fire this morning. Hundreds of thousands of civilians are trapped in a humanitarian crisis and more than 1 million have been displaced so far. According to the World Health Organization, the conflict, which began on 15th April, has displaced almost 1.1 million people internally and into neighboring countries. Some 705 people have been killed and at least 5,287 injured. In Italy, the death toll from flooding and landslides has risen to 13, with dozens of people still missing. According to media reports, more than 10,000 people has been shelterless. Tens of thousands are without electricity. The third unofficial ODI will be played between Pakistan A and Zimbabwe A in Harare tomorrow. The match will start at 12:15 p.m. Pakistan Standard Times. And finally, the weather report. Mainly hot and dry weather is expected in most parts of the country, while very hot in southern and central parts during the next 12 hours. And that is the end of the news. For more news and analysis, log on to our website radio.gov.pk and also watch live video streaming of our bulletin on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.